Hello.
Hello, welcome back to our Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Today we're gonna be I don't fucking know. I never done Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right. We've still got the Ralph audio from Skylar,
Yeah, because I'm shipped in a cardboard box out in the South Pacific Ocean.
and it'll probably
That's my setup
as far as we know, it's gonna be like this for indefinitely
until I feel like more effort or get another microphone.
or something of some sort. Anyway, this is podcast 17. I don't think
No,
that's.
this is number 2.
Oh yeah, it's number 2.
Second season.
Podcast 16 was the return.
Yeah, it's a new season.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I guess we just had a 20 or 30 minute conversation, just off of recording.
Just about random bullshit, like how much weight I've gained.
Yeah.
The kind of juice I'm drinking.
Okay,
The
yeah.
fact that I'm wearing a bathrobe and that's my new blanket on my
Really?
chair. Oh yeah, I got a bathrobe.
Mm.
Best. It's like a snuggie. It's like a really thick snuggie.
Right, I'm wearing pajamas. The same pajamas I used to wear there all the time, except they're torn everywhere, especially the crotch, and I need new pajamas.
And I've got the same sweatpants, but
Nice.
just got a bathrobe because they don't sell the Weezer snuggie anymore.
You're right. I think it's been a while. Oh, that's depressing.
I wish I could get it so I can get my free copy of Ratitude.
Right. You know what? I've gone back to that place, the big canyon where we threw Ratitude in La Crescenta or Tahunga.
No, I threw that. You weren't there.
No, I was there with you.
I swear you weren't. But okay.
Really?
Yeah, I took the video of it.
Did we just talk about? Okay. Well, I was thinking when I went there, I was thinking there were better places higher up in that canyon that we could have really demolished that thing from.
Yeah, but that was the place that I knew, I guess. The only one I could really think of.
Right.
Was I really gonna go through that much more effort for fucking Ratitude? Nah.
Well, if I wasn't there, I wish I was there. This is a weird memory thing happening here, but I thought.
Yeah, you got Mandela'd, buddy. Because I took a snap of it and I panned around and that was the only one that was there. Because I think I remember walking up there. You would have drove my ass.
Yeah, I got Mandela'd. But anyway, I guess part of the reason. Wait, which one of us just brought that up? Mandela is in the house today. I guess you brought that up, but I'm looking at. Point is, I'm looking at nature pictures again, and it's kind of depressing because there's snow, and I know snow can be part of nature, but fuck that shit. I didn't know it was gonna be in here. It kind of looks like the canyons where you threw Ratitude. But what's really pissing me off is that in every now and then in one of these shots where it's just panning along the nature, there's some fucking people walking through. And I don't want people.
I have no idea how we got here. What the fuck you're talking about?
Well, last week I had a running creek of autumn in the background while we were talking because I like nature. Just I like to have something on my TV while we're doing this. And a candle burning in front of me. But yeah, today I chose a different video and there's snow and there's people every now and then, and I'm really disappointed with this one. I might change it.
Yeah, leave a dislike on the video.
Yeah.
Fuck all these people.
Why are there people in my nature? It's called 4K Mount Rainier National Park. Nature relax.
Why are there people in my nature? They're leaving chemtrails in the water.
Ah, right. Birds.
Also, I had a thought.
Yeah.
If this is the second season, and so far we've just been doing recommendations, let's have the next 15 be the season, and then next season it's only tier lists and rankings and shit.
Oh my god. I figured is that
formats.
Is that a real proposal or is that just you saying shit?
That's just a thought. I don't know. It'd be cool.
Okay, because I was thinking
because I don't know if I have more than 15 recommendations.
Okay, because I was thinking we could definitely do the episodes that don't have them, but my thought process was there would be some recs that might take longer than a week. Like you said, we might want to recommend the TV shows to each other, seasons of something, or just anything like a game might take 2 weeks. So like maybe behind the scenes we would decide like, okay, for the next one, let's do a podcast or a tier list or a ranking or just like a topic episode instead of just Rex. But that way, whatever we recommended can have 2 weeks to get back to or something.
A Dungeon and Dragons podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Did you hear the fucking birds chirping?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, I'm watching a new video and it's animals, and I'm looking at an elephant right now.
You should repay. I'm gonna recommend you new nature videos.
This is the wild animals of Africa or some shit. I'm watching an elephant feed itself. This might be too distracting, but the thumbnail showed like a sunset, and it had like a purple and red sky. So I was like, yeah, that's it. And now it's like the zoo.
Yeah, you've already lost me. I'm already starting to scroll Reddit. So let's get into this.
Anyway, yeah, figure 8. We're going to go with my recommendation first because we went with yours last time.
Yeah, good we're keeping track of that because I completely forgot who went first.
Right. So I recommended Elliott Smith's Figure 8. His last album released while he was still alive. And then there was...
Which is kind of weird that studios like keep producing music after the artist has died.
It is. I totally agree. But in the case of From a Basement on a Hill, which was the pretty much his only real posthumous album. I mean, they're re-releasing stuff now with like extras that you haven't heard, like live bits and stuff, but
or like either or expanded edition.
Yeah, they're doing all that kind of stuff now.
Deluxe edition.
But as far as like an actual posthumous album, I think they released that. I can't remember. I'm not looking up right now, but I think they had permission from him. Like he said that if anything happened to him, he wanted it to be released. I believe.
Okay, so at least like he thought of it. I guess.
I could be wrong, but like I believe that was the case with that one. But there is some controversy around like if he would have wanted it released that way or not. But yeah, and it was supposed to be his like Beatles White Album, supposedly. So it was supposed to be like, no. The next one, From a Basement on a Hill. It was supposed to be like it was supposed to be like double the length. There's like half of that album that is unfinished, and so the pacing on it is sort of weird, and it's still a great album though. Like honestly, people in the Elliott Smith fan base like the album for sure. But yeah, I think if it was like nowadays where they just keep pumping out stuff by artists as soon as they die, and like I know there was one like rapper who died recently, had some posthumous release, and band members from like Blink-182 and like a bunch of other rappers or bands were coming in to like guest feature on this dead guy's songs, and it was like weird. And I don't know about how people should feel about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little thoughts on posthumous releases. But I do think From a Basement on a Hill, it's a bit different. But we're talking about Figure 8.
Yeah, we're not talking about that album.
The last one that was released while he was still alive, and I think easily the most warm, sunny album that he ever released. Funny enough,
I can see that.
Even
this is the third album that I've heard, and also it's crazy that it came out 20 years ago now.
Yeah, right.
It came out in 2000. Yeah,
it did, and I've gone to that wall on the cover art. It's really disappointing now because like a bar is now there, so they took out like half the wall and they put a porch in front of it. But I went and took a picture at that wall while my mom was visiting, and it's pretty cool to see that it's still there and people still leave messages and stuff on it. But
so I guess I thought I remember you like posting that or something.
Oh no, I didn't post it, but I did just send. Okay. I did just send you the picture of me in front of the wall if you wanted to see that. But yeah, so half of it's still there. Oh, I think you know what? I put it on my Snapchat story when I visited earlier this year.
I mean, it still looks like it's there, although it's zoomed in, so I don't know how much is left. I'm just laughing because you have a 6 out of 10 shirt.
6 out of 10. Yeah. Spoiler.
Damn, so you really revealed the rating on this album pretty prematurely.
Yeah, this is a spoiler. That's not my rating. Oh, damn. I need to go back and have a different shirt on one. I was thinking of putting that picture on my Instagram, but now I'm like, shit.
How did you not think of just 6 out of 10? Like, wow, what a statement, bro.
I was just wearing a good.
Kind of disrespectful.
I was just wearing my YMS shirt.
Can't believe this is not Chris's blood.
Yeah. Shit. Anyway, yeah, that's a little about the artwork, I guess. That wall is on Sunset Boulevard, not too far from where you got your first tattoo.
Yeah, I guess since this is actually like on a wall in an actual place, I guess it makes the album art a little cooler now, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. And if you watch,
to me, yeah.
If you watch the video for Son of Sam, you see them running around Echo Park chasing a red balloon, and like it's a really cool stylized video. And I think this wall might end up in there, or they took the pictures around the same day they shot that video or something. But yeah, really the thing to note with this album is it's generally, even if it has like stuff like Everything Means Nothing to Me on it, it's generally like the happiest and most sunshiny like Elliott Smith album, right?
At least as sunshiny as Elliott Smith can get.
Yeah, but
I didn't really like think of that, but like now that you bring it up, I guess I can see what you mean.
Yeah, it's like it's got the like I'd say songs like Son of Sam or LA or I don't know, any that have like the rock band sound to it. Like he wasn't doing too much of that. He was doing
like there's more stuff going on rather than just him and a guitar and a piano and drum set.
Yeah, and the lyrics are less like introspective, I want to say. Overall, like obviously not completely, but and they're more just I don't know, like LA sounds like it's about LA. It's a take on LA, but it's describing like things I'd never done, cars parked in the sun, some of the lyrics in that song. It's just like, yeah, that's LA, all right.
Yeah. Just cars parked everywhere.
Cars parked everywhere, nowhere to park.
Like all the way down the side. Yeah, nowhere to park either.
Mm-hmm. And junk bond trailer.
Honestly, yeah, weird side note. Like, I feel like if half of those cars just have to be like abandoned or something that nobody drives sometimes.
There are too many cars in LA.
Because it's just like, how many, like, I don't know. At least around my neighborhood, like, the cars are always like just there on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I know what you mean. And especially if you go into some neighborhoods like downtown or Echo Park or Glendale, some like as I've been doing Postmates, I noticed it in Glendale a lot too. Like I just have to double park all the time, and I hate being that guy, but you gotta do it because otherwise you'll never get the food to the person.
Yeah, and I mean, at least you're not going to be being there for a while.
Yeah, I'm just running the food in. So yeah.
But anyhow.
But yeah, I would say there's a lot of that kind of instrumentation. There was some of it on XO for sure, but like they really went for like the rock aesthetic on at least like a decent portion of the tracks on this one.
Yeah, they did.
Other like like Junk Bond Trailer too, Stupidity Tries. So I don't know, and I would guess that's why I thought you might have liked this one the most, but I guess we'll see now because I'm going to turn the conversation over to you, and I don't know how we want to do this. If you want to,
I was just kind of waiting. I mean, we've done albums before. We're just gonna go track by track. I've got my list.
Is that how you want to? You want to go track by track, or you want to do?
Yeah, and then like we can do like overalls and all that.
Okay, I was starting off with a bit of overall, like saying that.
Yeah, it's the introduction. It's the introduction segment of this.
Sure. Okay, so do you want me to go track by track too? Because I did it was really hard for me, and I don't know how well it'll hold up. I had to go like, I had to turn off my brain and be like, does that feel right? Like to do
Yeah,
this?
well, we'll
do-
go like along like together, I guess normally. Like if you need to like remember what it is, you can just play like a part of it on Spotify or something.
Right.
I've got a notepad up
So we'll go
of
track.
the fucks with like, and I was too lazy to write indifferent or whatever it was, so I just put meh
Meh.
and then dislikes.
I also wrote meh.
Meh.
Yeah, my categories are just love, like, and meh. And I ended up not putting anything in meh. But I knew I wouldn't have any dislikes because I really like this album.
Shocked.
Spoiler
But
alert. Anyway.
But I don't go just the 3 categories. I go one above.
Right.
Which is like the love and everything. But yeah.
Yeah. So how about we go track by track then, and then we can talk about where the track plays for you, or where it is.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll talk about where it plays for me. And I basically ranked the whole album from best to worst while I was doing this.
I didn't do that.
That's
but
fine. That's fine.
I do know what like favorites are.
That's fine. So let's just start with the first song then. Son of Sam.
The opener, Son of Sam. Let me just now to find that I have a piece of the combo. What a fucking bop of an opener this is for Elliott Smith.
I agree.
Goddamn, like this makes me get ready to go get all the funky towns and shit.
The piano and all the
I'm about ready to crack a cold one and just I'm bobbing, bro.
Right. This is one of the most upbeat, sunshiny songs on it, I think, too, and it's a banger.
Yeah, and it also gets bonus points for having throughout this album, and it kind of has like a little bit of Hammond organ sprinkled through there. I'm not sure if you can notice.
What did you say?
There's some like Hammond organ sprinkled in there throughout the whole album, and it's this song too specifically.
Hammond organ.
Yeah, like a Hammond B3.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't even know what that is. That's it's an organ. It's a type of.
It was in Blues Brothers. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's the one that my dad has in his studio.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm just gonna toss you some Google images real quick.
I know on.
Sorry to anybody who got a Discord message.
I'll check it out.
It's kind of just in the background, just holding out the chords and everything to kind of give it a lot more layer, along with the guitar, the electric guitar doing the and it just sounds kind of old timey, like it's like it's like you're back playing a like a vinyl record and you're about ready to do some bops.
I see it. Shit, what was I just gonna say about that? I don't know what this instrument's called, but like on one of his earliest albums, on his self-titled album, when it was almost all just vocals and acoustic guitar and some like lo-fi drums, he used this instrument that's like a piano. Well, it's not like a piano. It's like a keyboard, but it's like small and you like blow into it to make the sound. What's that called?
You blow into it?
Like there's like a tube that you blow into and like you press the keys and like that's how it works. Or
is it like a small handheld?
I think so. Like what's that called? It's got a weird name, like an Oozamove or something.
Oozamove.
I don't know. I heard Fantano talking about it because he did a live stream of on his Patreon talking about that album. Keyboard blow
into.
Keyboard that you blow into. We're not talking.
Is it? Huh? Oh, is it like that one fucking thing that you get from the dollar store that looks like a breathalyzer with a tube attached to it?
I think so. What's it called?
I don't fucking know, but I want to make sure this is what we're talking about here.
Oh, let me check. Because I think it's funny that I think that's what he used. Yeah, I think that is what he used on that album, and it's pretty. It sounds good in it, and it's kind of funny.
I think it's called a melodica.
Yes. Okay.
It's like a harmonica, but it's a keyboard. That's derpy looking, but I love that he used that.
He
I might
used
have
it.
to check that out.
He used it on "Coming Up Roses" on his self-titled album, and it's pretty subtle. He just used it for some chords in the background, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but that's Fantano discussed that. I guess
Yeah.
I got a little off topic. I am trying a little bit to pad this discussion because it can go a little faster when we're talking about albums.
Yeah, just or going track by track. But I feel like we do end up taking a bit for albums too. But
Yeah, so
you know.
so back on Son of Sam, we both think it's a fucking great song.
It's a bop.
I don't know where that. So is this in your fucks with category?
Yeah, I put it in the fucks with.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
immediately this album starts out the gate. Like and yeah, I definitely noticed like throughout it's a lot more stuff going on, like a lot more rock and almost not really produced, but just there's a lot thicker of a sound going on, which I definitely appreciate.
I figured you would. Yeah. And do we want to like spoil what the top 3 are as we do this, or at the end are we going to reveal like this is my top 3?
I think we can get to top 3. Like fucks with is like the contenders, I guess.
Okay. So we'll just at the end we'll be like these are in order.
Yeah, but I can definitely like point out which one my favorite is.
Okay, and you want to do that as you go, or you want to just say that at the end? Okay, so it's not your favorite. I thought it might. I honestly thought it might have been. Okay.
No, but it's in fucks with. It gets that.
Okay, cool. So the second song, then we'll move on.
Somebody that I used to know, which I keep thinking of that one overplayed song on the radio.
Yeah, the
when I just read it out loud. Yeah.
I don't know how you say his name, but yeah, this song came way before that, and I think on some streaming services this is actually listed as one of his most popular songs, and it's because of that song.
Yeah, I mean he's got really good melody on here, and just a good guitar going on too. I mean this is kind of like, I guess I don't want to say classic Elliott Smith, but like pretty much the stuff that he's most comfortable with, I guess.
Yeah, after Son of Sam, it shows you like the whole album isn't gonna be like that. Don't like don't think that the whole album's gonna be that.
Don't think he's a sellout.
Yeah,
he's just trying new things.
No, it's just it shows you that there's gonna be a balance of that kind of like new rock based Elliott Smith, and then there's gonna be some of the more just stripped down acoustic and vocals kind of stuff.
Yeah, like singer-songwriter stuff, but like the guitar part he is playing is pretty
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's pretty dynamic. Like it's not just like you're just strumming the same 3 chords, you got like a good old rhythm and different strings you're picking there.
Right.
It's definitely a driving song.
Okay.
Like a song to like drive to when it's like 5 p.m. and there's a bunch of trees just passing by and shit.
I could see that. Now, for me, this may surprise you, but landed pretty low for me. I mean, it's still in like, but I only have loves and likes.
Yeah. I mean, I tossed it right into like as well.
Okay, this one is third from the bottom for me. So like, it's not one of my favorites, but I'm surprised that it landed in likes because I'm assuming you do have some meh and maybe a dislike.
I think it's maybe second or third for me, and like it's pretty good. It's just there's not a whole lot carrying it over to fucks with. I feel like I'm kind of picky with fucks with. Like I have to, like everything just has to line up for it.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of loves on this album, and then like the rest of them are likes. So
yeah.
But
there's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, and love is my fucks with. So, yeah, and you do have like meh and dislike also. Like you've got songs there, right?
I've got it all filled out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's that. Did you want to say anything else about that?
That's pretty much it. Like it's an album track. It carries it along. I think it's serviceable for what it is, but it's not like it's bad in any way. Like it's still like a 7 out of 10 or something.
No, yeah, I think the
7 or 8.
I think I'm a lyrics guy, and I think that the lyrics are resonate with me for sure. And the guitar playing is, of course, like I haven't tried to learn the song, but I already know that this would be another one that took me a minute to get down if I tried.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of intricacies with it too. Like, I don't know, like to make it broader, I like songs and rhythms and melodies that could like kind of have like a faster melody, but like you keep time and halftime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like dun dun dun, just 1, 2, 1, but he's going but da 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 da, yeah, like that fast.
He does a lot with just an acoustic guitar. I guess a good album to show
and his
that.
voice too.
Yeah, a good album to show that would have been his self-titled. But I don't think I'm ever gonna make you listen to self-titled because you probably would think it all sounds the same.
Yeah, like it takes me more than 3 listens to
appreciate that kind of stuff.
To appreciate an album that kind of all sounds the same at first,
right?
And then it can end up really growing on me. Like a couple albums I can think of right now. Like I first kind of like drowned itself out, but like I listened to it like 5, 6, 7 times, and then it's like
there was
one of my favorites.
There was an album like that for you, wasn't there? That
it was Dookie for one.
Dookie, yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, I was like, there was definitely an album, a big
also,
one.
we talked about it in the podcast, Selling England by the Pound. That album was for me like that too.
Has that one grown on you more since we talked about it, or are you talking about like back then when you first heard it?
Back then, yeah.
Okay.
Like I recommended it when it was like
when it grew on when it had grown on you. Okay.
Yes. Okay,
cool.
So next track.
Also, I wanted to state just quickly for recommendations, because you said you might be running out and stuff, that you can recommend things that you have never seen, heard, or played or anything also. We can do that and then just experience it and both come back and talk about something we haven't experienced.
That's good to keep in mind, because I think I have 1 or 2 like that.
Okay. All right.
I might kind of like get elbow deep if I do. But yeah, anywho, I should sell plenty. So Junk Bond Trader. For me, let me quickly just. Okay, yeah, it starts off with that loud piano, and then what is that other instrument that's playing? I think it's a harpsichord to get that extra stringy sound.
Junk Bond Trailer? I can't remember exactly how it kicks off, but I know exactly.
It's Trader.
I know exactly which song we're talking about. Oh yeah. This song's like a mid-tempo rock song all the way through, and I wanted to mention that for a lot of Elliott Smith fans, they're like, that's the only song I don't like. Like, this is, for some reason, like a lot of Elliott Smith fans think it's meh. And I don't know, maybe the chords are boring. I haven't tried to learn it or something.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty full in terms of its sound, because it's got the acoustic guitar, piano, and the harpsichord to boot, and an electric guitar. But I think the electric guitar does, like, that goes on top, like, at the end of the verses, kind of, it gets repetitive.
Sure.
Like at first in the beginning, it's pretty cool, but then it's like it keeps going. It's just, and then it kind of outstays its welcome.
I think
for me, but at first it was like it got my head bobbing, but then like after you hear the whole album and then like other tracks stick out more, this one just kind of landed pretty comfortably in meh for me.
Okay, interesting. So for me,
before it was at like, but yeah, it's just kind of that it went down.
Okay, for me, since obviously I'm really familiar with this album by now, and all the songs on it. The song started more meh, and it had the opposite effect. I really like it now, and a lot of, like I said, from what I can tell, a lot of Elliott Smith fans think the song is like just not one of his best songs. And I can't say exactly why. I think it might just go on too long. I think because it's like 4 minutes, and it kind of stays with the same vibe the whole song, but I like the progression as far as the lyrics go, and the melody changes in kind of slight ways throughout. It works for me. I don't know.
I feel like it could be. It's a good song. Like it's serviceable for the album,
right?
But I feel like it could be better if another band did it. You know what I mean? Like this isn't really like what is the essence of an Elliott Smith song, and it's not really this.
Okay, well that's fair.
Like at least in my opinion, from what I can tell, like he doesn't. like he doesn't really do the whole like verse chorus. I mean, he does do the whole verse chorus, but not like just repetitive. I guess
Right.
I wouldn't call him repetitive.
No, I'm trying to think if this song even has much of a chorus. If it does, it changes.
It's like
It's kind of
something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, to me, the song's kind of just like a stream of consciousness.
Yeah, there's not much room to breathe either.
So it feels kind of the same throughout. But I don't know why I grew to love it. It's in my love.
Really? Okay. What the fuck?
Huh?
You just smacked me with a curveball there.
No, like I said, a lot of people think it's meh, and when I first heard it, I thought it was okay. But yeah, it really grew on me. I really like it.
Oh, okay.
Really like it.
Interesting. I thought we were kind of on the same page there, so I felt like there was a curveball thrown at me.
No, it's not in my top 5, but it is my 6th
It's up there.
favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's fair.
Yeah, and I will, just because you didn't do this, at the end, I will say what I think the album is worst to best quickly. I'll just say, like, one by one. I'll do that on my own after we talk about every song. So that's the third song.
Sure. Yes.
Fourth song.
16. We have a ways to go. Oh yeah, everything reminds me of her. I feel like this has to be one of your favorites on here.
That's what I thought you might think, and it definitely was. I wrote very little notes, but just I made sure I'd want to mention some things because I think you remember me playing this one, and it definitely was my favorite or second favorite or something when I first heard this album. It's moved lower, and yeah, I wrote it previously would have landed higher for me. It's actually below Junk Bond Trader for me now.
It's like in the list.
It's still in love. I learned this song on guitar, which I'm really proud of, and I like to play it. And I really think it's emotionally potent, and especially for me, something that I really resonate with, of course. But
I feel like it is easy to resonate with, though. Like, it's a very relatable,
absolutely
emotional song. Like, it really touches bases with a lot of people. It's touching too, with like the words and everything. And
very honest. It's really honest, I think, with the subject matter.
Like it's open, and we definitely like that in music,
Past lyrics, I don't see this one resonating with you too much. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like musically, it doesn't really have a whole lot to offer for me, especially with the rest of the album.
Mm-hmm.
But the lyrics and just the kind of message it does kind of pulls it up to like.
Okay,
I still
wow.
think.
Yeah, I didn't think.
I still appreciate it when it comes along. I think it's kind of like on the border between like and meh.
Right, I like this one better than Somebody That I Used to Know.
Yeah, I think this is when the first time in the album it really actually starts to slow down.
I think so because
and I think that's good. It's good to like let it breathe a little bit. So that's why I think in context it's a like.
You've got this album flows pretty well. I think the only, I don't know, maybe either or, but I think maybe this might be the second best flowing album he has past his self-titled. Huh?
I gotta take my fucking bathrobe off. I'm sweating. This is gross.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, I think this album actually flows pretty well, even though it's got a lot of twists and turns with like it starts off with like a rock song and then it's an acoustic song, then it's like a mid-tempo rock song and we're back to acoustic now with this song.
I mean, hence the figure 8 is doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know.
No, I think that the album title has a lot of significance to it for sure.
And it's pretty funny that now that I'm looking at these back to back, after everything reminds me of her, just everything means nothing to me.
That's what I love, right? I was going to mention that too because
that's pretty cool.
I really think that that's saying something. It's because and I guess we'll move on to that now. Yeah, I have everything reminds me of her in love, and you have it in like. It would have been stronger for me previously, but I think I may have overplayed it for myself.
If there was more going on, like especially if it built up to something, it could definitely be in fucks with.
Okay.
For sure, for me.
Cool.
But it kind of just stays stagnant, almost.
we'll go on to Everything Means Nothing to Me, which I want to say about what you just said. I've always noticed that too, because I think he does do that. I think he has wordplay with his album, with his the song titles on his albums. On at the end of EXO, the last few songs are or the last two songs are Everybody Cares, Everybody Understands, and then I Didn't Understand. So that's pretty cool. And on this album, at the end, you've got
Better Be Quiet Now.
Better Be Quiet.
Sound.
Yeah, Better Be Quiet Now. Can't Make a Sound. Bye. Which I think is really cool. And I think this, I'm guessing at this point that that's intentional. And I think that this might be one of those intentional wordplay things, because he stated while he was alive, obviously, that Everything Means Nothing to Me is supposed to be like a positive sentiment, even though it sounds like the most depressing thing ever.
Well, there's a whole bunch of interpretations you can get from it, especially with those two songs back to back.
Right, exactly. That's
like, you can definitely have those two moods of like, oh, she's the most important thing, and then it's just like, another day it's just like, oh, fuck it, who cares about anything? Or it's like, nothing else means anything to me, but she's the most important thing. Like, that's just a couple, I guess.
Yeah, to me,
there's a whole lot more you can pull from it.
To me, it definitely stands on its own, but it can also mean everything reminds me of her, but everything means nothing to me. So, like, it's okay. It's a positive sentiment.
Yeah, and this is one of the only songs that I knew before getting this album, just from you playing it.
Yeah, I had you listen into this one a lot while I still was there. And I don't know if this will surprise you or not, because it kind of surprised me. And I guess we're saying this as we go. But this is my favorite song on the album.
I'm shocked. It's definitely one of the bigger standout songs, too. Like,
it is.
I think. It has a really weird piano intro, though, at least for me.
I think it's got a really...
But it definitely builds, and then it definitely plays along with it. And that build at the end is pretty powerful.
That. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the build that I was hoping was in the song previous to it.
Mm-hmm. He made a chorus out of a chromatic scale.
It is chromatic. I just had to go through it in my head.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
And what I really I mean, you're probably like, oh yeah, you like this song because you're emo, but no, it's like
yeah, that's totally what I was thinking.
But no, the lyrics in the verses of the song, which I don't know if you probably didn't do much paying attention to that, I'm guessing, right? Are just extremely fucking... They're like maybe his most poetic lyrics that I'm aware of. They're just... It's so descriptive, and it's kind of just saying, like, on a literal level, it's just talking about, like, a statue in a fountain. But it's put so fucking delicately and perfectly and beautifully into words, and then it's sung with this haunting melody in the verses. Like, truly, what the piano's doing and the melody are extremely unique. I think, like, it definitely sounds like something that you would expect from, like, the White Album. If I was gonna,
I mean, there's still not a whole lot of lyrics to this song either.
No, but they're so pretty. I don't know. I really
so pretty. Yeah, they are very poetic.
I really resonate with just everything going on here. The piano, the melody of the vocals, the lyrics, and the ending is powerful. Like, I realized, like, that nothing was topping this at a certain point for me, and I didn't expect it to be my favorite song of the album, because I never thought about this album like that. But when I started going through it, this came out on top. And all that said, I want to hear your take on it, because I'm guessing it's not quite as high for you.
Yeah, I guess you can kind of gather, like, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that it didn't land quite as high for me, because we both, I think, value different things when it comes to Elliott Smith, but still like it, which is pretty interesting. I like his stuff, It's still one of the, it's still like one of the most standout songs, so I can't put it anything lower than like.
For sure. Yeah, I think even if it's not your favorite, it's like it definitely like hits you. You're gonna remember
You
that
definitely
song.
remember this one.
Yeah, exactly. It stands out, and it was in Mr. Robot too, so that's cool.
I had to put that out there. Okay, so then there's L.A., which is the other song that I knew before.
You knew L.A.?
Yeah, you played it.
Huh? I don't
At
think.
least I remember the chorus.
Ba,
But
ba,
like
ba, ba.
when it came on and then like it played more, I was like, oh yeah, it's this one.
I don't think I played this much back then because this song is a recent development for me. Spoiler, it lands pretty high for me. I like this song a lot. But
Oh yeah, this one is probably like just straight up one of the most Beatlesy kind of sound to it. If like, it's really punchy. It has that has that electric guitar going too.
if you're gonna talk
Um,
about Beatles, I would say the end of it, that little weird ending it has, is very Beatles. You know what I'm talking about.
where it just fades out.
Like the
Oh, yeah,
like the weird like the voice thing and
yeah, the little
and
echoes at the end.
the drum beat just that's that.
Oh yeah, this is like I could picture this being on the White Album if like pretty much every Beatle just did like a fusion and wrote one song.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's what this song is, and but writing about something a lot more contemporary. California artists than um, Liverpool, but this one definitely is a fucks with.
Yeah, same. It's in my top 3. It is
Such a bop.
is my 3 personally. This song
This is my 3 as well.
Sweet. Yeah, it's a great song, I think.
So it lands in the same place for us.
It's a great song to drive around LA with as well, with just sunglasses and the sun out, and the lyrics again are not exactly looking favorably on LA. Like one of my favorite lines of the song is just he says, you probably didn't even pick up on it. I guess you don't look at lyrics still, right?
No, not really, but I try to listen to when it's going, but 3 listens isn't enough for me for something to stick.
Yeah, I love the part where he's like, I don't want the lead in your play. Because, like, that's just so LA, you know? Everyone you meet who's, like, trying to be successful and stuff, and he's just, that's the atmosphere of LA. And
yeah, and I absolutely hate that. I think that's become my least favorite thing from there.
Yeah, and I just love that line, I don't want the lead in your play. And I also heard that the line, the things I'd never done, in cars parked in the sun, could be a reference to how he wasn't doing like heroin or any drugs until he got to LA, because a lot of people thought he was doing drugs like as early as like 5 years earlier on his other albums. But
just a quick disclaimer for people who wonder why I don't appreciate lyrics is because I mishear the shit out of them. So if I actually try to talk about it, I'd be like, yeah, I didn't really understand that line. I don't want your meat on my plate.
I don't want your meat on my plate.
Like, that's what it would turn into. That's why I don't talk about it.
Okay.
Unless I'm confident. But yeah, still a great song. And also what you said about like driving LA with sunglasses, sunshine, and like that's not really something you can say about Elliott Smith with his other stuff.
No, yeah, this is
pretty unique.
This is a sunny album. This song and Son of Sam are the best for that, I think. This song and Son of Sam are like brothers, and then the rest of the song, Junk Bond Trailer is probably the Trader. I always say trailer is probably the closest that it gets to that sound again. But yeah, it's not as
it's like a transition kind of sound.
Right,
but it's like, oh yeah, here's more what you want to like right in the start, So it still kind of plays around with different stuff.
Yeah, these are the 2 biggest bangers. And I realize that if this isn't your favorite song and Son of Sam isn't, then I think I know what is, but we'll get there.
Yeah, and interesting, like I feel like we passed like the big ones that should have been talked about. Should have been like favorites, but there's also a hell of a lot more going on here. So
Yeah,
uh,
I think I know what it is since it wasn't one of those. But
so
we'll
in
get there.
in the Lost and Found, also like another kind of weird intro.
I always forget this song is on this album.
Like it's got the feedback, the little picking going on at the door and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the beginning. Not something that he would normally do.
Yeah,
But it's that honky tonk kind of sound piano.
yeah, exactly. Which I think is why I always forget it because that's not a sound I usually resonate with. But
It's ragtimey as fuck, and I love it.
oh, you love it.
And then it turns into like kind of a normal piano sound, and then he drops down chromatic, sweet Angeline.
Yeah, I think it's very Beatlesy, right?
It's pretty goddamn Beatlesy. Like this is like something straight out of the White Album too. I'm gonna keep saying that, I guess. But like, this and the honky tonk part in Rocky Raccoon,
Mm-hmm.
like, where they both drop down chromatically. And also, I really love the octaves, like da 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 da, and then it goes right into the chorus. It gets your finger snapping. I love it. So that's in fucks with.
Okay, so for me, this song is a higher like, which I surprised myself with again. Like as we were doing this, as I was going through, I'd never thought of this album in this way. And yeah, this is one of the ones I forget is on here because there are 16 songs, and when it comes on, I'm like, oh yeah. And at first, I'm always like, like this one's all right. And then as it builds on the honky tonk is when it really gets my praise. I really like the chorus in it. And I like the other elements it brings in, like the but just when I hear that piano at the beginning, I'm like, mm-hmm. When I hear the piano at the beginning, I'm like, this isn't my thing much. Like it usually isn't what I'm into. But yeah, it landed as a higher like. So
yeah, I love Ragtime too. So overall, the build definitely plays into its favor because before I'm like, is that really a fucks with or just high like? But then as it keeps going, it's like, no, this is I think my second favorite on this album.
Damn.
So
all right.
That eliminated your second guess, so you only have one other try, mister.
I did not expect that. I did not know where this would land for you. I didn't think it would be one of your favorites though. Definitely I did not.
I mean, neither did I.
But probably
just the more I heard it, it's solidified itself.
I think that's because, like I said, I always forget that it's even on here, so I wasn't like, that'll be a favorite. See, this is why it's kind of cool to do these. I think you surprised.
I want to learn this song more than I do. Everything means something to me.
Crazy. I really want to hear you learn Everything Means Nothing to Me. But this would be cool too.
I played it a little bit, but just that beginning, like scale, quote unquote, is just the it going down is a little too weird, and that needs practice.
If you learn this,
because it's definitely not something that I hear anywhere.
Right. Well, if you learn this, send it over to me anyway. That'd be cool. Put it up on that subreddit.
Oh yeah, then I can get 1 silver, or just because it's me, I get like 4 upvotes, and then you post anything on silver. Totally not salty about it, just over a fucking silver award. I'm gonna award myself silver. Anywho,
I'll award you silver.
Cool.
Okay, so see, I was surprised by that. Yeah. It's one of,
I could imagine.
More of the songs on this album are in love than like, and that one's in like, but I really do like it. It's towards the top of like. I didn't want everything to be in love. I was like, it's gonna be fucking stupid.
I mean, same. There were a couple that I had to do that with.
You're right. Yeah. So, oh shit! I just forgot about a certain song that was on here that also might be your favorite. So I guess there's 2 contenders for your favorite in my mind right now.
Okay, I'll be curious, but for now, Stupidity Tries.
That's one of them. That was one of my guesses because I forgot the song was on here.
Stupidity Tries.
I thought this would really be like up your alley.
It's a really good song. Like, I definitely love the whole rock stuff. He's just kind of embracing that sound, that kind of like, I guess like LA sparked another like kind of rock or like funner segment
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some extra variety there. Plus, I just love triplet time in
Right.
songs in rock. That's not something you see, but that's easy to get to the groove to.
I love the
And
chorus in this song. Da, da,
and
da, 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 da. Like it's really it's kind of it's got a lot of like tension to it. It's out there. It's cool.
yeah, absolutely. Just the way it builds up and then right back down at the end of the chorus too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you'd be right. This is absolutely in fucks with, but
Okay.
not one of my favorites.
Okay, so this isn't the one that I was originally thinking. I remembered it was on here just a second ago, and I was like, shit, maybe that's his favorite because this one I think gets a lot of praise from his fan base.
Oh yeah, no, it's great, but it's not one of my favorites. But I still definitely look forward to this one coming on.
Mm-hmm. This is also in love. It is the lowest on my love, but I do love this song. It's really good. Did you notice the seventh on the synth in the fade out at the end?
Seventh on the synth.
If you listen to it, there's a seventh, and I only know about it. I only like focused on it because I heard it in an interview on.
Oh yeah, he uses synths in the song too. I'm
Yeah.
listening to it right now.
Yeah, at the end, there's like a note that's just like, oh, and
I didn't notice.
there was an interview with his producer for that documentary I showed you back when. In an extra interview, he was talking about how Elliot they threw in the seventh on the synth in the fade out, and he just like it's his favorite part of the song. The producer, that is. And I started listening for it, and it is interesting. It's very subtle, but I don't know. Not even particularly what I think is so great about the song. I just thought it's something you might have noticed.
I didn't notice.
I really,
and I still haven't listening back to it.
This one didn't immediately like blow my mind, but it grew on me for sure. And I paid more attention. As I paid more attention to it, I knew that this one was a love. It's a great song.
Yeah, most definitely. I still think this is still above Son of Sam for me. So it's not even lowest of love.
Okay, I is Son of Sam.
With, I mean.
Is Son of Sam the lowest of your fucks with?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I really thought that would be a high tier song for you.
It is high tier. That's what the fucks with tier is. It's high tier, but like
right.
It gets outclassed, which is a good thing. I don't want it to peak at the the first track.
That makes sense. Like American Idiot. Yeah. No, I'm joking.
Best song on that album.
Okay, what is the ninth song? Wouldn't Mama Be Proud?
What is the what?
Is the next song
no, it's Easy Way Out.
Oh, Easy Way Out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not looking
this
at
one
the track
has
list.
to be a high like for you.
This one is a mid tier like for me.
Okay. Interesting, because this is like kind of goes right back to kind of his more traditional sound.
Yeah, it does, and
like his EXO sound.
Really, I would think it's all about taking the easy way out. Yeah, you just heard our delay in real time, everyone. I think.
I mean, I was delayed from when I was hearing you.
I think you're right, but it's not that I don't like it. Again, I didn't put a single song in meh. I like the whole album. I don't skip a song, but and like I definitely resonate with the lyrics here. Again, like I feel this song on that level for sure. But it's kind of another one that I forget is there, as I just proved to you because I thought we were on to Wouldn't Mama Be Proud.
Right.
It's a good song. But yeah, kind of like In the Lost and Found and another song we haven't talked about yet. I kind of forget how it's there, but I like it. I don't skip it. I'm imagining this is maybe a dislike or at least a meh from you.
Oh no, it went to meh because like I do appreciate what it is. Mm-hmm. It's just in context, it's kind of a buzzkill coming from the last three.
From Stupidity
or four, even if you count Everything Means Nothing.
Yeah, because Everything Means Nothing to Me like has the big ending, and then
Yeah, and then it like builds and kind of keeps its momentum, and then
you got
Easy Way
L.A.
Out's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like almost like put it on another album.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not bad. It's just I wasn't expecting it, and
It
it's
it's
a really
gotta
slow build.
yeah, it's gotta bring you back down, to be like, no, we're keeping this shit balanced, and I appreciate it for that. I appreciate it for being.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this is the slowest song on the album.
I think so, and the slowest and quietest. I think it's. I think it's I think it's kind of necessary where it is. Again, I think this album flows pretty well, but yeah, I agree. Because of that, it is like kind of a downer after the other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess, and especially so this is in meh for you,
Yeah, it's meh.
and it's kind of like a mid-range like for me. It's higher than somebody that I used to know for me, actually, but it's just one higher.
Yeah, I feel like you like it a lot more, but I guess I can't say I'm too shocked.
No, with this album, I really do surprisingly like, because I love his self-titled album. I love Either Or. I love all that stuff he does. But on this album, I really, really appreciate the more like rock heavy stuff. If you've been noticing, I guess.
Yeah, on this album, but I just tend to appreciate that just in general.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of him on this album. I think he did it really well.
But yeah, that's why I think we can agree pretty much for the most part on this album.
Some of the rock or like grungy stuff he did on From a Basement on a Hill doesn't click quite as much with me. It still does. I like all his stuff, but I think on this album he did that rock sound maybe the best. There's some really good stuff on XO too, but yeah. So the slower song, I don't know, maybe in context of a different album it would land higher. I guess that's possible, but I just think it's good. Not the best.
Yeah, for sure.
On to
so moving right along.
Wouldn't Mama Be Proud? This was a late discovery for me, and I love it.
What were you saying?
I said this song for me was a late discovery again, but I love it. And this song for you, I feel like will either be like you fucking love it, or maybe it's like your only dislike. Like I feel like this could.
Wow, that's like quite a difference.
Like this could be the fucking wild card for you. That's my guess, because this song actually is really catchy.
Yeah, I didn't remember how it started. That's why I didn't hear you the first time, because I played it. Because at first I thought that it started slower or something.
It kind of gets right into it after the.
Yeah, it dives right into it. You know, it's kind of got kind of a basic kind of beat to it right when it does come in.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely evolves to sound like as it grows. Like that chorus, whew, that's some spicy shit. It feels like Easy Way Out. It's almost like a whoopsie. I didn't know where to put this. I'll just pop it right in there. Yeah. I might move that to dislike now because of it. Because like if that weren't there, the momentum would just still be going. But yeah, I have it in like, but I'm thinking now that might be a mistake.
I love the chorus so much. Like it caught my ear, and I was like, "No, this is one of the best ones." I think it's in my top 5, not my top 3. But
you know what? I would agree. This is definitely one of the better ones, and I just moved it to Fucks With because it being in like was a mistake.
Just because that wouldn't Mama be proud.
Yeah, that delay.
So good, so good. So I guess you didn't think too much of it at the time though, so you don't have too much to say about it, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess that one's like your guys are watching it grow on me right now.
Yeah.
I remember I tried to listen to the words, but nothing stuck as per expected.
It is a good song to listen to the words on for sure. It's definitely got to do with the idea of success and making it, and it's like again, like you could apply the idea of it to a lot of people in LA again. So I know that resonates with you having grown up in LA. So yeah, it's kind of a sarcastic thing. It's talking about how like how obviously like he's not doing okay. But he's successful. So it's kind of like that. I think is the sentiment to it. If you look through the words, you might like it. But I also think that just melodically, it's pretty. That's why I thought it might like land in dislike for you, because it's a pretty straightforward like rock pop almost song, like, and I really like it.
Yeah, but I think he pulls that off really well, like with how he sings and his voice.
I think so too. Okay, so my contender for your favorite is still there, and I think it's gonna be your favorite because I know how you like your songs. But all right,
know how I like them cooked.
Yeah, so let's go on.
Nice and deep fried and filled with synths.
It's not this. It's not this next one, which is you're gonna have to say.
Color bars.
This one is my second to last of the whole album. This one is one that I forget is on the album.
Okay, so was this the contender or was it not?
No, it's not.
Okay, because you confused me. I didn't know if you knew what was next.
No. I said that this is not gonna be it, because this is like, I was just saying this is one of the kind of forgettable ones for me too. But I still have it in like again. There is no
interesting.
Meh. There is no meh, but it's one of my least favorites.
Interesting. Well, there's no way for me to talk about other than to say, I'm gonna throw you a curveball because you're dead ass wrong.
Really?
This is my favorite on this album.
Are you joking?
This is the favorite, dude. I really love this song.
Really?
Oh yeah, this got in my head quite a bit. Like I was like just humming the
Wants me to ride into the sun. Like I think I love that. Like there's just not a bunch.
I love how the piano is written and how that plays with the guitar in this.
Holy shit! All right, yeah, you definitely.
And like kind of how it builds and carries itself.
I'll have to re-examine the song, like really, because I like it. But it's not. You know, it is my second to last. It's at the bottom of my likes almost.
Yeah, no, this one like stayed right and fucked with since I first listened to it, and yeah, this one's definitely the favorite.
I did not see this ever being towards your top.
That's funny.
It's a pretty Elliott song. There's not a ton going on.
Yeah, but there's like a good, I think the piano and the guitar, like the instrumentation is so well done, and kind of the structure, and as it doesn't kind of lose that. Maybe because it's pretty short.
It is pretty short.
Song,
is it even?
It doesn't really have room to fuck up, but
is it even 2 minutes long?
It's 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Damn. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that at all. This is just because it's color bars, right? It's because you're colorblind.
Oh yeah, ha ha ha. I was like, oh, this is colorblind. I'm gonna like this one.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Oh, color bars. Colors are my favorite.
Okay, so that means the one that I thought would be listed as your favorite isn't in your top 3, so you pulled the rug out from under me.
I pulled the sneaky out from under you.
That's funny. It's gonna be like your dislike.
This was what was it? Is it the next track, Happiness?
No, do you have a dislike?
I actually do not. I don't have any dislikes on this album.
Okay, no, but so that's really surprising. Color bars is your favorite, followed by. Yeah, so now we've covered your top 3. So what were they in order? It was color bars.
L.A. and then In the Lost and Found.
See, that's
but
so interesting.
In the Lost and Found might be tied with Wouldn't Mama Be Proud. So
okay.
That might be subject to change.
Yeah, okay. All right. We've also almost covered everything in my top 5. So let's get on to the next one, I guess, which is, Happiness.
Happiness.
You just cut off and you said penis, but yeah.
Penis. Wasn't there a YouTube poof or something like that?
I don't know.
They cut off part of happiness, which is penis.
Probably.
I feel like that's the case. Yeah, this one is one of the forgettable ones for me, actually.
That's funny.
This is your favorite?
No,
Or
it's
is what you think was my favorite?
no, but it is my second favorite.
Wow.
I didn't think it would be your favorite.
Yeah, I can't really remember a whole lot going on in this. Let me skip around a little
I
bit.
didn't know if where it would land for you, but I think it's pretty Beatlesy, and Mo has mentioned he thinks it's pretty Beatlesy too.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's leaning way more like it's a pretty Elliot sounding song.
It's a pretty.
If you ask
I
me.
learned this one on guitar because, like, surprisingly, that guitar part you're hearing at the beginning is like more complex than it sounds, of course. And it's really. I'm really proud to play that song. To play this song, yeah, I like it a lot. It was a grower though, because it was. I think this was like his hit or his single from this album, aside from "Son of Sam." And I couldn't see why at first, but I definitely appreciate it a lot more now. So I don't know, maybe you'll end up having that experience if you keep listening to it, or maybe
Yeah, maybe I need to re-examine it, but after color bars, it just didn't hold up as much for me.
didn't land. And also, yeah, like that weird drum sounding kind of throughout it, and especially at the beginning, I heard was apparently supposed to be just like for keeping. It was supposed to be like a metronome when they recorded the song, but they kept it in. And it kind of adds something to it. Like
Yeah,
that
like
low
I guess
drum.
that's where he can get like the whole Beatles sound
Mhm.
from it.
Right.
The but it's still like I still thought it must have been like still pretty good for what it is because it's in
Okay.
like it's not a meh by any means, but I just was kind of forgettable.
Yeah, I think it's a good song. I think the ending of it, I think it builds up nicely to the end of it, and I do like the guitar part. But yeah, I guess that's that. That's my second favorite. After much again, for especially towards the top of this, but really throughout, like I had to just go completely off instinct of like where do I put this? If it feels right, I'll put it there because I couldn't even logic my way at a certain point for some of these. But yeah, that one's towards the top for me.
Yeah, sounds good.
What?
And now we're kind of in the full home stretch here.
Yes. What do we have?
Pretty Mary Kay.
This is one I forget is on here. But it's at the top of my likes.
What's up?
I forget this is on here all the time, but it's at the top of my likes. I do like it a lot.
This one's pretty meh for me. Like, there's not a whole lot going on. I think
Fair enough.
I'm not really a fan of what's going on.
That's fair. I always remember that I like it when I hear it, but I always forget that it's on there. I think a lot of the ones in the likes are just the ones I forget are there till they play.
Right.
But again, Color Bars was in there for me, so
Yeah.
and that's
I'm
your
like, oh,
favorite. So
yeah, best one.
so
One man's forgettable is another man's favorite.
exactly, that's just how it goes. And that's really cool. That's why it's cool to do the albums, I think, because like a lot of times sometimes there's like more obvious. Yeah, of course we both like that, but at other times you get instances like Color Bars.
Yeah, or like you're like, oh yeah, this one's your favorite. And I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Or like you try to predict it, and that's cool. Because normally you're pretty good at like figuring out what I do likes and all that.
Yeah, now I guess the one that I was thinking of must have just landed in a regular like for you, or a meh even, but we're still not there.
Still not there. Okay.
What
What
are we
So
on
then,
to?
what's up?
We're on to Better Be Quiet now.
Okay, you just sound far away from your mic.
Oh yeah, I was asking what we were on to next.
Oh yeah, better be quiet now.
Which lands for me just above Stupidity Tries, but towards the bottom of Love.
Huh. Okay. Well, this one's in a pretty meh state for me.
I figured. It's pretty much acoustic the whole way through, but I think it might be one of. It looks like aside from aside from Everything Reminds Me of Her, I think this is like the best acoustic Elliott track on here.
Really, because I think it just sounded like the melody didn't really go anywhere, which was unlike him, especially for this album.
Right. I think I really like the words in this one. I think that might be it. Which is
that could help.
which is the same case with Everything Reminds Me of Her, which, believe it or not, like even though I learned it on guitar and I think it's really interesting, the sound of the guitar in Everything Reminds Me of Her was never like my favorite thing. So that one's definitely up there for its lyrics, and I'm saying that just to say that this one's also up there for its lyrics, but I also do love the melody, the vocal melody. I guess you're right though. It doesn't go too far. It doesn't stray too
Yeah,
far.
I really wish it did.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Could probably land in but yeah, then we're near the end. Can't make a sound. We already talked about the titles being where they are.
We talked about the titles. This song is the one that I thought may have been your number one, so I wonder it might just be meh or like for you, I guess.
It's on the border of like and meh.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I totally thought this could be your number one because of the build.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you're thinking, but I do like it. I do like where it goes, which is why it ultimately I didn't like. But I think it was just too repetitive.
Fair enough, I guess. I can't
just the chorus. I thought it just went on for a bit too long. Maybe if it was 2 minutes, it would be, number one.
Right. No, I get you. I know that you have a thing for songs that start like acoustic and then like slowly add some stuff in, and then by the end it's like intense and there's a lot going on. Like,
oh yeah, okay, that's that. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, now that I remember, yeah, that's why it's in like so.
If you listen to this song and you just like skip throughout it, then at the beginning it's just like an acoustic guitar, and then halfway through it's like got
there's
a
whole lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, it just builds and builds. So I know you like that, but I could get that it's repetitive. But I should also like point out the obvious that my favorite song on here is the most repetitive song on the album.
Yeah, I mean, repetitiveness isn't like necessarily a bad thing in and itself.
Yeah,
it's just given what the whole rest of the album is, and Elliott Smith with how he is with words and just writing and melodies in general.
Right.
I guess I want just a little bit more. Like I could have just added like an extra verse or something.
Right.
But no, I definitely do enjoy the build, which is why it stays in like I don't know why I said it was on the border.
Okay, cool.
I forgot that it was that had that build. I just remember I was like, yeah, just he kept saying, the title over and over and over again.
And it's basically, I mean, That's Everything Means Nothing to Me too, but
but that's different.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but that is way different.
It's a lot more effective to keep repeating that line, I guess.
Yeah, and also it's 2 minutes.
In the way he does it. Yeah, and everything. But yeah, then on to the last song, which I was going to say, this song feels like the end of the album. It feels like the big climax that it ends on. But there is a little something just to play us out. And that song is called Bye.
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 Well, and what a... Bye. What a Silent Hill kind of sounding piano, too.
Yeah, it's really muffled, and it's really...
It's muffled and echoey, like it's like that kind of sound you get when it's out of tune, or like just kind of been there for a while, which is like a lot of movie soundtracks kind of go for when they want to elicit a specific mood. That was pretty fucking vague, but whatever.
It's definitely drenched in some kind of atmosphere that it sounds kind of ominous for being at the end of this album.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't put it in dislike. I thought if anything, that this would be the only song in dislike, but it's like for what it is. Like that's not something unlike that I would want to write and play.
Weird. Yeah. Okay. It's weird that it lands so low for you. Like, yeah, it's the lowest for me, but I thought for you and I do have like a lot more appreciation for soundtracks and stuff like Silent Hill and stuff than I used to, but I definitely thought you'd see this as one of those types of songs. Like, I think if this was in a video game, it might be like, oh, the music, but because it's
Yeah, for sure. But this is Elliott Smith, and we did just have a huge, kind of ride.
yeah,
So I'm also talking in the context of the album, but that's why I couldn't dislike it.
fair enough. All right, so yeah, that
And also, I've looked at the word "bi" now for so long; it looks really weird. It looks like it's just saying "yeet," but there's a typo.
it happens.
Like someone just hit the B key
B.
accidentally.
Okay, so then I'll just read mine from worst to best now that we finish this up quickly. So from least favorite to favorite, it just goes by color bars. Somebody that I used to know, Easy Way Out, In the Lost and Found, Pretty Mary Kay. Then we get into the loves. Stupidity Tries, Better Be Quiet Now, Everything Reminds Me of Her, Can't Make a Sound, Junk Bond Trailer, Son of Sam. We're in the top 5 now with Son of Sam. Wouldn't Mama Be Proud, L.A., Happiness, and Everything Means Nothing to Me. That's how I rank it, and I didn't expect you to follow that along. That's just for if anyone ever cared, or me.
Yeah, if I were
me in the
editing this,
future.
I'd have a counter every time you said trailer instead of trader.
Did I say it again?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Does it say trailer in the song, or is that just me? I don't even.
It might be just you.
It could just be me. But yeah, okay. And I did want to ask really quickly, how this, well, before we do our rankings, how this stacks up to the other Elliott albums that you've heard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it was kind of hard to not give it away immediately when you said like what you thought, because your hypothesis would be right. I think this is my favorite of the Elliott Smith albums that I've heard.
Okay.
I said I've heard 3, but that's still
You've
that's
heard,
still yeah, I've heard 3 from like a couple other bands too.
you've heard my favorite 3. You've heard Either Or, EXO, and Figure 8.
Right, and I think this has to be top for me, and you know exactly why.
How would you rank the other 2 after this?
I don't remember what I get Either Or, so I'm probably gonna really contradict myself.
Well, that's okay because you can change your thoughts over time. That's partly why I read my order of how I would rank this, and I bet if I listened to what I said about Either Or, it might have changed since then too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Either Or is still like I think it might be a light 8 now. I don't know what I give it back then. It might have been like a 9 or something.
So you think Figure 8, and would you put Either Or above EXO, or would you put EXO above Either Or?
I put Either Or above EXO.
Okay, so that's how you'd rank them. Cool. That was just a question I was wondering about, because
oh yeah, for sure.
We never discussed EXO, and I don't think we're ever going to. I'm not gonna wreck you all his albums or anything. So
yeah, but I have heard EXO 3 times, so
yeah, so good enough for you to rank them like that. So let's do rankings then, I guess. I want you to say your number first.
Oh, I think this album is a figure 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Get it? Figure 8, huh? It's a strong 8. It's a strong 8 to possibly a light 9, but I think it's gonna be sitting comfortably at like a strong 8.
That's pretty good, I think.
Like I don't think I would normally put on Elliott Smith unless I'm in a really specific mood.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely see myself coming to this.
At least a few
if I'm
songs.
even remotely in that mood, or at least to help me transition to it,
Right, and like Color Bars is like such a different mood than LA, and those are in your favorites.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be too similar to stay in favorites, I guess. I don't know.
Right. No,
it just kind of happened.
I get what you mean. That's pretty good. Even though it is called Figure 8, I give it a 9, maybe a strong 9. I don't know.
It's a figure 9.
It's not a perfect 10 for me.
Considering there's forgettables, in this album.
There are, but like again, this is something where like how I feel might not line up perfectly with my rating, because I think EXO might still be my favorite Elliott Smith album. it's hard to tell, but that album definitely has a few duds on it, and so I don't think I could even give that a 10. But yeah, so there's some insight into how ratings work. It doesn't necessarily always line up as being my favorite, but yeah, this one's a 9, probably a strong 9. I don't know, not quite a 10. And with that, we'll go on to Blues Brothers, which I want you to introduce.
I really need a piss, so I guess I'm gonna hold it.
You're gonna hold it.
Okay, cool. Was that a question or is that a demand?
I was asking. No, I was
You're gonna hold it, okay?
I was asking if you want to go pee, then I can look at the wave length and it'll be fine. Yeah, go pee.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I'll check my door because my mail may have come. And we're here.
Okay, cool.
We're still here. I just got the last movie that I need to see from the director I was telling you about, that you'll know by the end of this podcast. And here's a little hint. Here's a little hint for anyone who's speculating, who hasn't skipped to the end. This movie that I just got has Nick Cage in it. Right.
Do you have any slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
Well, it's not meant to give you a hint.
Okay, cool. So probably won't be talking about this nearly as long as the album.
That's fine.
We have been here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, even though we've only been recording for an hour 20, but yeah, we've been talking before that. Okay, so
Cool.
So let's get on to Blues Brothers. Your film recommendation.
Oh yeah, Blues Brothers. So like, so like that thing, that something that you grew up with and became like one of your favorite things, and then you kind of just forget about it for a while and then move on to something else, but then like something happens or like you stumble across it and you look at it and you think, how could I ever forget about this? That's me with this movie.
That was me with Kenny versus Spenny and some other things. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so that was me with Blues Brothers. Like, for the longest time, I was thinking, like, I don't know what's in, like, one of my favorite movies, but, like, obviously, this is definitely it. I'm not going to hide that.
This is your favorite movie?
No, one of.
Oh, okay.
No. You know what my favorite movie is.
I thought
I'm not going to say, like, any specific rankings or anything.
Right.
But
your favorite movie is The Shining, right?
What's up?
Your favorite movie is The Shining, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Blues Brothers. I mean, this also came out the same year as The Shining too, 1980.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, and it also
crazy.
It really doesn't feel like dated at all.
No,
at least in my opinion, like The Shining kind of does feel dated.
It does. Yeah, I agree.
Like there's some dialogue, but with what?
With both of those statements, I agree.
Yeah, and for here, like this movie's timeless, I would say. Like, sure, they got like it's sound quality and everything from back then too, and the cars.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like, you can just put a fresh new coat of paint on it, like change like what car it is in your head or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And just picture that blues is more that type of music was more common.
Yeah, more
way more common back then. But even still, this is one hell of an all-star cast too.
Mm-hmm. Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
John
Dan
Belushi.
Aykroyd. And there's a whole bunch of cameos too. James Brown, Ray Charles, and Aretha Franklin.
A lot of blues musicians.
Yeah,
cameos.
absolutely. And Carrie Fisher's in here too.
She is. I noticed that. I wrote that down.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone, like, as soon as they see her, they're just like, "Oh, she's here."
Yeah, which again, I've never seen any of the Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I did know that. I noticed her.
Yeah, I mean, also if Dan Aykroyd is in the movie, like, you have to know it's good.
This is maybe the only movie I've seen him in.
Okay, then I might have another recommendation for you.
For sure,
because the man is like a comedy legend. You know,
Okay. I thought he was great
uh,
in this movie.
he's up there for at least for me. I think.
I thought John Belushi, is that his name?
Yeah, John
He
Belushi.
was amazing too, and I'm sad that he passed so recently after this movie.
Yeah, it really is
Short,
tough
so
because they also, I feel like I had to bring up the sequel that they did, and man, is it just stay far away from that as you possibly can.
the one with Dan Aykroyd, I was kind of looking into it, but I didn't watch it or anything.
Yeah, because I mean, after there's no John Belushi, but it's just it lacks any of the soul. It's just terrible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see how this movie would kind of, yeah, it would be pretty soulless without the John Belushi's character, I think.
Yeah, without Jake, but also I mean, without doesn't have any of the music too. But
Oh, really?
I think John Belushi really does like. He does one hell of a performance here, and it's crazy that he's not in much of anything else.
He kind of makes this movie, and I love Dan Aykroyd. Like the two of them make the movie. But
yeah, for once, like Dan Aykroyd isn't like like one of the bigger, but he's still like can still pull his character, pull his weight.
Mm-hmm. Was the Blues Brothers sequel? Was everything else about it the same? Like, did it have the same director?
I don't think so.
Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, it's called Blue Brothers 2000.
It,
Let's look at the Wikipedia page. Directed by John Landis.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, he did
It's
the
same
original.
director.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's upsetting.
And they got John Goodman. Okay, that's interesting. All right.
That's
Well,
really
yeah.
upsetting.
Enough about the sequel that I've never seen and that you're disappointed by. Let's talk about the movie itself.
Oh no, I'm hurt by it. There's a different thing. But yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah. Also, like the soundtrack. I think now that watching it again, I can see how my love of Streetlight just ignited so quickly.
Oh, really?
You can kind of like feel it, can't you?
I guess I see what you're saying.
With it's the whole big band sound stuff.
Yeah, I
definitely love that shit.
I don't typically associate Streetlight with the blues sound, but
No, yeah, not blues sound, but like
the big band. Yeah, I gotcha.
I think it was one of the oh yeah, the da 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 da. Yeah.
I wrote just at the top. I wanted to get this out of the way. I watched the theatrical version. I didn't know if you watched like the longer version.
I don't know what the difference is because I just picked up the DVD from Zia.
Okay, I don't know which one you saw then, but it's possible that I'm missing like 10, 20 or so minutes because there was a difference in time between the theatrical and like this unrated version, I guess. But I watched the shorter theatrical version. I wanted to make sure that was out there. So I don't know if you mention anything that I'm like, what? Then that's maybe what happened.
Okay, then at least I can at least explain it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it does kind of start off slow, but
I didn't think so. I thought it was pretty great.
Okay, cool. That's good. I mean, I didn't think it's like that wasn't a criticism toward it. I can just see like anybody who else is watching. It's just kind of like okay, but it's just some like little touches too, like how they're walking in step outside, like to the prison.
Mm-hmm, everything's so nicely choreographed.
Yeah, and it's like it never shows his face without the sunglasses.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so you didn't see his face without the sunglasses at the beginning?
No.
Elwood?
No, Jake.
Okay, but did you see Elwood without sunglasses at the beginning?
No.
Okay, because I heard that happens in the other version. So maybe we saw the same version. I don't know.
I can maybe so.
But I took note of that. Yeah, I took note of that though. My first few notes like that were more overall thoughts and less of specific to what I was seeing as it was happening. I just wrote like this movie is so ambitious for one thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's like it's a pretty crazy movie for just
being, like it has such like just amazing choreography that just comes out of nowhere.
It's kind of just like a musical comedy kind of thing, but
that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
but it's crazy. There's a lot of stunts in this movie.
Yeah,
there's
we can get to that later. Yeah, but like in terms of how like it handles its comedy, it's kind of subtle stuff, like how they're just always wearing sunglasses for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I was saying it reminded me of a movie that came out later that I'm not going to say because I do plan to wreck it probably to you at some point.
Okay, well, that's fake for everybody listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, just them always wearing sunglasses cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Elwood just has a thing for bread and toast.
He does.
Like it's something I never really thought of until like I kind of thought until like it was brought up later. Like, why does he have such a thing with toast? Because like he kind of when he's in the music shop with Ray Charles, he's kind of like he pulls I think bread out of his pocket or something and like tries to put it in something there
Yeah.
that kind of looks like a toaster oven.
That's the kind of thing that sticks with you. I love their little apartment.
Oh yeah, the tiny ass apartment.
That's a New York apartment for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and San Francisco also.
Oh yeah, and
San Francisco's tiny, but yeah, this is based in Chicago.
And yeah, and you open the window and it's just bricks.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of other stuff here.
Oh well, you got me
it before we get to notes.
You got me thinking of that because he made toast in that scene, I think. And
yeah, he did. He was like it was like on a wire.
Mm-hmm. Jake and Elwood are on a mission from God. That's what
the best line ever. Just we're on a mission from God.
That's one of my top notes. And
God, I love Dan Aykroyd.
And that the sunglasses never come off.
And also really quick, I thought about this later. Like, I feel like this is if Eddie and Double D like both absorb like equal parts of Ed and become musicians and grow up.
That makes sense.
It's kind of what it is. Like I see it.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
No, Jake reminded me so much of Eddie. That's why.
It's a pretty unique thought to have.
But yeah, let's just jump into your notes here.
Okay. One of the first notes. It's funny that this is one of the first notes. So I wanted to point out that this isn't a criticism, but I just noticed it. One of the first things, that when they go to the church towards the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's the big sing along and the dance number in the church. There's a part where they start dancing, right?
Yeah, the huge choreography, the first huge choreography number.
And the brothers start dancing too.
Yeah.
And it cuts away. It shows a shot during that where there's a continuity error and they're just still standing there. So like it shows that everyone's dancing and then they start dancing and then it cuts and it shows that they aren't dancing.
Oh, that's funny.
They're just standing at the back still, because when they first get there, they're just standing there, which is also hilarious, by the way. I love the parts I wrote down, like, as it goes. During a lot of the big musical numbers, they kind of just are bystanders, and it's really funny. They
just kind of sit there if they're not, like, the huge showman.
Right. But, yeah, if you... I made sure to look over to see if they were dancing, and they weren't, and it was like, so technically it's continuity error, but I wrote down, not a criticism. I just noticed it, like, because I actually think that's pretty funny. I think
that is, now that I think about it.
You should look for that.
I will next time, yeah.
And I also wrote, I'm not into blues, but you can't not love scenes like this, which I'm referring to the church scene. And as I found out, like, the rest of the scenes. Because I'd seen like bits and pieces of this movie before. I think I saw like the beginning where they drive the car over the bridge. I was gonna bring that up. Like that's like the first time where like they do like a huge stunt like that. And it's just, it gets you prepared because I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah, and like that's another thing. I just love that they're in this fucking cop car the whole time. Yeah, like this ironic, this shitty broken down cop car. Yeah, well, Jake brought it up, and just I love the way that they just talk to each other too. It's like, me too, man, my own brother. Like as soon as I'm out, he
supposed to be right into a cop car or something.
Mm-hmm. No,
Um,
I love all the dialogue is pretty great, which reminds me of the same movie that I'm gonna be vague about, so I'm not even gonna bring it up.
yeah. So, and also just the light shining on Jake during that part is the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
best. Because
I
like it's dated, but I think it knows that it is, and
I,
it makes it hilarious.
I
Like the
almost
afterglow that's around him.
yeah I almost wrote that down, but I didn't because I knew I'd remember that. Like when he gets out of prison and it's just like the light on him.
The band, and then he just does like like a quadruple backflip and somersault like forward, and just goes crazy dancing.
Dude.
And it's fun
It
seeing him. It's just hilarious seeing him do that in like a 2-piece suit,
it
and like how big he is.
it makes you smile to see that guy going crazy with the dancing.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Um,
And then Dan Aykroyd doing the dancing too, with his like little shaky legs.
yeah, and back
And
on.
everyone's like doing huge like fucking flips, like being launched up in the air.
I know, like that's what I mean. There's this movie's really ambitious for what it is, and it's
But like it feels like it knows that like it's just being ridiculous just for the sake of it.
yeah, I mean, it's great. I really like that. Like obviously it's a lot more like recent of an example, but like Hot Fuzz.
I do not.
Oh, you don't? I totally thought you'd seen that movie.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, like just like action comedies kind of.
Gotcha.
This is a great example of that, and like you can do a lot of slapstick kind of with that tone.
Oh yeah. There's not a whole lot of slapstick here, but like it's not it's not really what it is. It's not what it's going for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going for like it being, kind of just ridiculous set pieces and other small nuances like the whole like bread and thing and sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. It's like not. That's the thing. Like, a lot of modern movies and shows and stuff caught on to how you can get people attached to things like that. Like, oh, they never take the sunglasses off, or like, oh, he likes bread. But the problem with like modern movies or anything that tries to attempt that, it's always so in your face. It's not subtle. Like Baby Yoda. Fuck Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Like, no, but
it makes it like a set piece, and like there's other set pieces that this film does
they know,
to make you laugh, but there's also some smaller things that kind of help build to make those characters feel real.
Nowadays, if a movie tries to pull something like that off, it just is annoying because they're trying to sell it to you. They're gonna make merchandise of it or something.
That's the thing. Like I was gonna save it for the end, but I feel like you don't really get this kind of style of comedy anymore.
It's pretty rare because it's genuine.
People don't get. I feel like
it's pretty genuine. And it's definitely like a passion project. Like someone was like, who conceives of this movie? It's someone who fucking loves blues and loves absurd comedy, like, and who just wanted to make a crazy movie.
Well, yeah, but I think it's also just kind of just about musicians and like how we all kind of are just broken struggle, and it's pretty great.
That too. What else did I have during that chase?
like like there's one part in the movie where they show up and they're like, they're in suits and they're in their same getup, and the woman is asking them like, "Are you the police?" And Dan Aykroyd's just like, "No, ma'am, we're musicians."
The deadpan, the delivery is so good.
Oh yeah. No, ma'am, we're on a mission from God.
We're on a mission from God. And everyone's just like, okay. It's so good. I
love that they call the nun the penguin.
Oh yeah, that was. I didn't write that one down, but I do remember that. That was at the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah. Well, they call her the Penguin throughout.
Yeah, I fucking thought it was hilarious when when fucking Jake gets pushed down the stairs in the chair.
Yeah, that's like kind of the only slapstick that really happens. But like, yeah, the chair just disintegrates underneath them. It's also funny, like where they sit down in like these tiny desks, and she's like, "Oh, come over here," and they move it while they're like trying to sit in the desks. Oh, there's also the ruler thing too. That's the other slapstick. But yeah,
Right, yeah,
we're kind of going backwards.
there wasn't a ton, but it definitely like contributed to the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
What else do I have? I wrote during that chase scene, there was chilled music, which is refreshing compared to the modern chase scene music of like dun 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 dun. Like I just thought it was. I don't know if you picked up on that.
The chase scene?
Yeah, like there,
which part?
right at the beginning, there was the chase scene, and it was just kind of there was chill music. Like this movie never took big like crazy events too seriously. Like it wasn't self-serious, which is I think
Oh yeah.
part
So
of
you're talking about like the first chase with the cop car?
I think so, which is why there was so much charm. I don't know. The next note I had after that was, I think I was trying to clarify. I was talking about the chase in the parking lot in the mall.
Oh yeah, there it is. Drive through the fucking mall.
But
I think I looked up the total damage that like the movie did or something, like to replace the cost or something, and it was like a ridiculous amount.
and
It was like a few $1 million.
I'm not surprised. And before they even drove into the mall, they were just, I thought it was fucking hilarious that they were just driving around the parking lot, and they're like, we can't be in the parking lot all day.
Just like, you want out of this parking lot? Fine.
Yeah, just
And
burst
that's
through the
where
mall.
Elwood delivers the line the first time. You know, they're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
And then
Best line.
Then I guess shortly after that, Carrie Fisher showed up with a bazooka.
Yeah, and she's literally Nemesis in this movie.
She is, and I couldn't. The tone was like, I'm a huge fan of the tone of this movie. Where every time, because yeah, she's like the Nemesis, and every time she shows up, and every time she fucks their shit up, they just walk away like unscathed, and they just like don't even acknowledge it. Like the apartment blows up, or the phone booth with the flamethrower, the phone booth goes shooting up into the sky and comes back down, and like they just like walk away. And they're like, they don't even mention it. Like
they brush themselves off and like
yeah,
like with the apartment, it's like it's all like collapsed underneath them. They're underneath a bunch of bricks, and they're just like, oh, we're late to work.
Yeah, and they just stand back up, and the music starts again with them standing up. And
dude, that also I love that song too. Like, there's so much good music in this movie. Like, goddamn.
Which is what my next note was. Is just there's always music. It's built around the music, like entirely. It's just such an impressive piece of art. This film, and it is art.
Yeah. I mean, you hear Peter Gunn quite a bit throughout the movie, which is that like just like them walking the dun 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 dun, dun and that's one of my favorite songs in this movie. I think it totally nails it with the score. Like it's a movie about music. It has to have a kick-ass score.
Oh, okay. The time
it absolutely does.
The apartment was my next note. It was constant trains, not bricks. I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, I think it was a different movie where they opened the door and it was just bricks.
Yeah, it is. I just what the fuck was it? It doesn't matter. Yeah, in this movie it was like constant trains. That's Chicago. But the size of the apartment made me be like, that's modern New York.
Yeah, exactly. And also, yeah, San Francisco and probably Chicago. I don't know. Haven't been. But yeah, he just steals his bed and he calls him a sleaze.
Yeah, he fell asleep fast.
Oh yeah, he falls asleep in his suit and sunglasses.
Immediately too. That's I wrote some other stuff we already talked about.
Oh yeah, and the police are constantly chasing them like throughout the movie, like they're trying to like pinpoint them.
Yeah, it's like Grand Theft Auto when you can't get your stars to go away.
Yeah, but
the whole
Elwood
movie
has an address set to like a stadium or some shit, like on his ID.
Really?
Yeah, he said that in the movie. He was like he falsified his ID, so it's a different address, so they can't track him.
Shit, I didn't catch that.
I mean, I've seen this movie like a good 10 times, so that was like I think the first time that I noticed that.
That's pretty funny.
It's just a small detail. It's like, yeah. Also, when they get pulled over in the beginning, he like when they put it into the computer, it's like absurd. Like 40 parking tickets,
Mm-hmm.
like a whole like 3 different incarcerations or some shit. Just
Right.
the worst criminal record ever.
Um.
And they get him for having his license expired.
Oh yeah. Well, there's some commentary.
Exactly.
Um. I wrote that I love the driving just in general. Because the driving is always an event in this movie. And their chemistry and their jackassatry is just fucking. It's it's mesmerizing. Like,
yeah, like
when those two
not
are
often can you have asshole characters and like root for them. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
you root for these guys because they're on a mission from God.
When those two are on screen, it just demands your complete attention.
Yeah, and like so at this point they're just trying to get try to find all the band members from before Jake was put in jail, so
Mhm.
they can get $5,000 to pay the tax bureau so they won't foreclose their church property.
Right.
Or the property of the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they were trying to do throughout this whole movie, which is why they say they're from a mission from God.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
And moving along, I guess.
and it's
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like it speaks to home with musicians that where they're just trying to find where their band members are,
Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that.
because it's like everybody's doing other gigs now.
Mm-hmm.
Elwood lied to Jake saying that he kept in touch with all of them, but he only had a few phone numbers.
They were
He
both,
was like,
yeah, they were both equally determined
he was
to
like,
do this.
you lied to me, but I was like, what am I gonna do? Just get rid of your only hope you had going in there? I wasn't lying. I was just bullshit.
It's just bullshit.
He was like, you manipulated me. I was like, no, not manipulation, just bullshit.
They're both determined in their own way to reach the skull. It was truly a mission from God.
All right, what are your other notes?
I hate Illinois Nazis, and then they run them over.
I hate Illinois. You're just Nazis are in this movie.
I love it, yeah, because they just fucking run them over, and like they jump into the water. That's at the bridge, right?
Yeah,
In the
I was
park?
asked like, oh, why are there like at the end, like why were there Nazis in this movie? Like, what was the point? I'm just like, fucking, why not?
I'm pretty sure they were just like throwing in a fuck Nazis. Like, why not? It was the 80s. It was.
Well, I mean, it's because like they also get the Nazis against them, so like they have everybody chasing after them. They have the cops, they have another band, and then the Nazis just because.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
even the Nazis fucking hate them.
It was kind of just like. I just took it as like they're throwing in a fuck Nazis, because yeah, fuck Nazis. Still relevant. Still
I
relevant.
hate Illinois Nazis.
Yeah, it's still relevant. The diner with Aretha Franklin. They just sit there and join in, then sit again.
Yeah, they join in and just do the snap, just imperfect choreography with them, and then just sit right back down. But I love their order is like, just what was it, like two lightly toasted pieces of white bread.
Yeah, yeah, I wrote that down too, but I skipped over.
4 whole fried chickens.
I wrote Elwood's dry white toast, and then I skipped over that because we already discussed it. But yeah, it's really throughout the whole movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is some kind of merchandise relating to that. But
4 fried chickens and a Coke.
yeah, I thought of that same thing too. Yeah, and I just said I love their presence in the musical sections. Oh, and then right after that, when I forget who it was, but he just takes his apron off and leaves. And I was like, oof.
Oh yeah, the guy,
Mm-hmm.
the guitar player.
The guitar player. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just like,
because Aretha Franklin is the wife that owns a diner, and I mean, you guys should just watch this movie. We're just gushing over like the parts that we find hilarious. But yeah, and then she's just like, "You can't leave. We have this diner." And he's just like, "I'm going."
mm-hmm.
Some dedication, like only dedicate. It's a dedication only musicians really feel.
Oh, I agree.
But then there's like that one. Some of the other members like that had like this other like really, you know, kind of fruity looking band.
Mm-hmm.
What were they called together? Like the Red something.
I don't know. I don't know if I wrote it down. If I did.
Oh no, it was like something in the Magic Tones.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't write it down. I thought you were talking about the band that they like kind of stole the gig from.
Oh yeah, that was the Good Old Boys, which we
Yeah,
can just go into.
Well, wait. I got a little bit more before that.
Oh, okay.
What did I write before that? Well, yeah, I just said the famous blues musician cameos are really cool. Again, despite not being a fan of blues or musicals for that matter.
But it's like it's also like soul too and jazz and everything.
Mm-hmm. And any choreographed scene involving the brothers puts a smile on me face. Okay. When the phone booth, when I think Elwood is like, I got a quarter, and then they get in the phone booth together.
Yeah, it's like Jake's like, I gotta make a call. It's like, I got a quarter. They get in the phone booth together. He's just like, what are you doing? Like, I thought we were gonna make a call. He's like, I'm gonna make a call.
Yeah, see, that's just like the kind of goofy hilarity it goes for, and it nails it.
Because it doesn't overplay it. It doesn't like, like, oh, this is the funny. It's just like
I
they
hate
just do
that.
it.
Dude, ever since I was a kid, I hated when like you could tell like a movie was throwing in something just to make you laugh. Like I even as a little kid, I would watch movie trailers, and then I would hate that in like kids movies they'd have the scene that it's like, laugh, do it, we said something funny, and then I'd go to the movie theater and everyone would laugh when it got to that part, and I'd be like, fucking hate
Stupid.
you all. Yeah, like I'd be like, it was literally in the trailer. This is why you saw the movie. Shut up. I was just cynical little boy. I was like, fuck the shit that's like in your face.
Comedy.
Yeah.
But then Carrie Fisher shows up with the flamethrower, torches the phone booth, and then it just fucking explodes up in the air like what is it, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah.
And then just crashes down, and then like all the quarters burst out, and Elwood's just like, hey, Jack, there's got to be like $3 worth of quarters here.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love it. I love how they don't acknowledge any of it. And yeah, I guess we'll get to the good old boys then. I said at the first gig when they have to change the song, and Jake just sits there, arms crossed, looking annoyed.
Yeah, just pouting, just rawhide.
I love that.
I fucking love Rawhide, by the way. Like, God,
is that the song?
That song puts a smile on my face. Yeah.
But
he ends up joining in too.
Yeah. But I love his facial expressions.
Yeah, so they just like they get the band all together, and they just kind of drive around, stop by this restaurant, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's the gig that they obviously didn't set up." And like it even says like on the sign, it's like
good old boys.
Tonight only the good old boys. And they're like,
we're the good old boys.
Like, yeah. Then one of the bandmates is like, what is that? It's like, oh, it must be a mistake. It should be Tonight Only Blues Brothers.
Yeah. That reminds me of like when Beavis and Butthead did that too. When they were like, they went to a place and they were like, they said their name of their band is Metallica. And then it said that Metallica was playing there, and then Beavis and Butthead saw the sign, and they were like, "Whoa, Metallica's playing here!" Fucking, I love that show, but I wouldn't be surprised if that bit was inspired by Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's night and they're still wearing sunglasses too.
Of course, they gotta stay on.
Um,
And I was like, rip the good old boys. And then, like, as the movie progresses, I was like, oh shit, never mind.
yeah, I like to think that they just played like Rawhide and the other song just back to back for the whole night because they end with Rawhide again, like they just skip forward. But I like to
Right.
think they just played those two over and over again.
It's what the crowd wants.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like supposed to be like this country thing, and they hate blues and all that.
Hmm.
But then they end up drinking like way too much beer, so they owe them money.
Yeah, and then they just skip out.
And of course, they just take off. They just ditch. And then the actual band shows up, and then they chase them.
Yeah, the good old boys, and then it's a fucking
They
mess.
pass by the cop stakeout, and then as soon as the Blues Brothers pass the stakeout, and as soon as the cops leave, they just immediately crash into the good old boys' RV.
Right.
So now everyone's starting to chase them.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, oh, never mind, because like then the fucking good old boys became a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, apparently.
What is my next note is I thought it was, I don't even remember the context of this now, but I remember the reveal like that they're all in the sauna together.
Yeah.
When it's just like Jake and Elwood talking in the sauna, and then it zooms out. It's like the whole band.
The whole rest of the band is there, which it's a big band, so there's like 10 other people there.
Mhm.
It's like, let's go, boys. And they're also wearing their hats and sunglasses in the sauna.
Yep, of course. I've got
Oh wait, we skipped over the restaurant scene
the restaurant scene.
where they're just in the fancy restaurant, just being obnoxious.
Oh yeah, we did. I didn't take any notes on that, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was it earlier in the movie.
Yeah, then he just finds this random guy.
No, that was
get
just
the band together.
that was just perfectly played comedy. I love
He just
that.
harasses this other family. This is like at the husband. He's like, "How much money, little girl?"
It was awful in a great way.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That's the kind of shit that's actually genuinely funny. We didn't say much about it, but if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It's great.
Yeah, we're just kind of talking about the funny parts, just ruining it.
When they're walking to the theater with the rhythm of the music inside. Yep, that's just more choreography for you. They're just a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, that's
Also, the Ray
important
Charles music store part.
Yeah,
I love Ray Charles' like character, just how he's kind of like just talks and stands.
I didn't write much about the cameos aside from just acknowledging the cameos. But yeah, so we're leaving out pretty big chunks of it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really remember much else, but what else you got to move it along?
When they get to their actual gig, and then I just wrote, man, fuck that crowd, because like everyone was just like staring at them blankly, and like when they were playing their first song.
Oh, like with the huge gig and everything.
Yeah, like eventually they got into it, but
okay, that's pretty much at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're there because that's after they get chased around by the good old boys.
Yeah. So I guess we're there. Everything else is just kind of set up for some stuff.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Not that I remember. I guess we can go there.
I was just going with my notes.
The Minnie the Moocher song, though, when they had to stall for time for the Blues Brothers to show up.
That was before? Oh, when it was just the band playing.
Yeah, and it was like in all the white suits.
Right. Well, I don't know the songs as well as you do, honestly.
Because I heard them over and over again. But the songs weren't like, as far as I know, they're not like actual blues songs that were just taken out of like a book. Like these were.
I think they wrote them
for the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was reading that John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd went out and played. They did a tour.
They did a tour? No shit.
They toured and played these songs like live.
That's crazy. I didn't know they played them live.
like as the Blues Brothers back around when this movie came out. Obviously, I guess they couldn't have done it for too long, but yeah. So I thought that was really cool. There was a lot of cool stuff about this movie.
Yeah, and I love the Manny the Moocher song. The ba ba da ba ba da.
I wish I
Yeah.
could comment, but I can't. It was it was like over a week ago, and I don't know if I remember exactly what you mean.
That's fair, but that's a memorable song for me at least because they were like sneaking around outside during that. Because they were late because their car ran out of gas.
There's a lot to get out of rewatching this, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Like this is a classic that you could just watch once a year or something if you know.
Yeah, exactly. Or just show your friends and family it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then even the cops just all sit back and watch the show.
Yeah, while they're supposed to be pursuing them.
Yeah, they were just had the whole place guarded, but the police chief's just like, wait, I haven't seen these boys sing.
Mm-hmm. And then
like, they're not going anywhere.
And then they escape through the latch under the drum set.
Yeah, but their whole performance was pretty fucking cool, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
just them dancing and actually finally like playing and all that.
I didn't note those specifically because I kind of made the general notes about how kind of enticing it is just to watch them and watch them interact with the musical scenes and their chemistry in general.
Yeah.
So I didn't really go in on any of those specific scenes, but there's probably some of the best parts of the movie.
I mean, absolutely. Like, I think their whole venue where they're actually fully playing with the band is like kind of what it's all been building up to.
Mm-hmm.
But what it's actually the movie's been building up to is that fucking car chase that's like 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like the last like 20 minutes are just this insane car chase.
So, which is hilarious, I think.
And I've
like 100 police cars just going after them.
Right before that, I took note of the sewer scene.
Oh yeah.
With the girl, with Gun Girl.
Carrie Fisher, Nemesis.
Yeah, and that sunglasses removal though.
Oh yeah, just those puppy dog eyes.
He got a pretty face. I didn't expect that.
It's pretty, which makes it even funnier.
I know.
But I just had the image of Carrie Fisher just being Nemesis, but instead of saying star, she's just blues.
That was a really good scene, I think. That sewer scene.
Yeah, and then he just drops her.
Mm-hmm. And they just run away, and then they're pursued by the police chase. And well, they're basically chased by like everyone in the fucking city at this point.
Oh yeah, and they get like the whole military to go after them too.
Yeah, and I took note of the car stunts, the landing in a moving truck, and
yeah,
and the pile up, and the landing in water, clearing the bridge at the beginning, clearing the cop car. Like that's where I just wrote like there are a lot of stunts in this movie. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of just what it's been building up to. Oh, my voice cracked real bad.
Yeah, but the landing, the guys who landed in the moving truck was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did that.
Hey, this is car 55. We're in a truck.
I don't know. I guess that's a dumb question, but I don't know how they did that.
They're probably, I don't know, might have taken a couple takes.
Maybe they genuinely had to do that.
Probably, but I didn't look like the truck was moving all that fast.
No. Yeah.
We're just saying at the same time. The Nazis just flying through the air.
Yep.
I think that's the best part for me.
The Nazis and the cops and...
Oh yeah, as soon as the Nazis pull and then Flight of the Valkyries just starts playing. and then when they're just falling because they go through like a freeway ramp that was like under construction, so they're like falling like at the level of a skyscraper, and the guy just looks over to the driver, just, I've always loved you.
This is a fucking insane last final act, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I said I love that they use a fake cop car the entire movie. Yeah, I said that at the beginning. But um I said like, how are they gonna get out of this? And then I said like, is this the longest pursuing scene ever? Probably.
Yeah.
And it's
It has to be.
it's a musical comedy, and it's the longest like pursuing scene I've ever seen. And then
Yeah, they had like the whole military and SWAT team helicopters coming in on the building.
yeah, I was like, how are
And-
they gonna get out of this? And then I was like, they didn't. They went to jail.
Yeah, as soon as like they handed the check, it's just they put handcuffs on the both of them,
Mhm.
and then just everyone in the room is just pointing a gun directly at them.
Yeah, and then they're playing their songs in jail.
Yeah, Jailhouse Rock.
And that's it. That's the movie.
Yeah, and it ends. So
And I
it's pretty
said
great.
overall a blast to watch, and the brothers are mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, no, it really is just like to talk about it. But like I said, I feel like it's almost kind of a lost art was how everything's just been delivered.
I agree. I think there are some things that tonally give me the same sort of vibe, but even those movies that I'm thinking of aren't like this. Like they don't go nearly to the same level. They don't have all the music, the cameos. Like it's a really unique movie.
I don't know if my mic cut out. Oh yeah, it's definitely a unique movie. Like nothing will ever be done like it again. Not even its sequel.
Yeah, apparently not the sequel at all.
No, not that. Yeah. So, any final thoughts or anything?
That's every note that I took. My final thought was basically just that it was a blast to watch, and I've got my rating for it.
Cool. So, I guess then you would give the rating first.
I'll give my rating first, and I gave it a 9 out of 10.
And you know what? That's great.
It's very close.
That's neat.
I think there were one or two times maybe where I felt like a tiny bit anxious with the pacing, but it's almost perfectly paced, I think. Like,
And that's fair. It's it is kind of like more slower paced, but I think like us as viewers, we're just kind of more used to quicker delivery on things.
well, yeah, I don't know. I think at the same time the pacing was great, and I think that there's constantly something crazy happening, but there was just a couple. I think that's why I had to give it a 9, which is near perfect, by the way. Like I think that it's one of the best movies that we've talked about on the podcast, probably. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I guess we haven't talked about many yet, but like it's I'm giving it high praise is what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah.
I don't
we
give
can
everything-
actually just laugh at pretty much any part in the movie. Like,
Yeah, I don't
can't really do that unless it's a YouTube poop.
Mm-hmm. And I don't give everything a 9 or a 10. Like, I guess I've been recommending you a lot of stuff that I love, so it seems like I do. But
Yeah, you're just ranking like the stuff that is that high caliber.
yeah, but I don't know. Eventually, I guess if we ever start recommending stuff that we haven't seen yet, we might see some more variation in our ratings. But
Yeah.
for now, I think we can both agree that it's a great movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 10 for you.
You're gonna?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, no, I have no reason to not give it a 10, so that's what it is.
Oh.
Like, I think it hits every beat, like, the best way it could. And this, I can't stop gushing over the soundtrack. Like, the soundtrack in itself makes it so enjoyable for me.
Right. And
it's Dan Aykroyd, come on.
I feel like maybe if blues was more my thing, that would help, but like I said, it definitely doesn't detract. Like the music scenes, like, well, it might not be my sound or aesthetic musically, like you can't not pay attention or not be moved by, like, in some way by what's happening on screen. And it's just
Because they complement each other so well somehow.
And it demands your attention, and it really is a blast to sit through. Well, to watch, not sit through.
Sit through.
to witness, yeah.
Yeah, just pretty much like you're not gonna find anything else like it. But I feel like some people aren't gonna appreciate it as much because it's not like the comedy that they're used to.
Yeah, I don't know. I would really hope that this would resonate with a lot of people today, but
yeah, like I don't know if they'll find it like as like a belly laugh, but I think as a whole experience, that's pretty much what this is. It's an experience.
It feels good to watch. It doesn't matter if you don't have to be constantly laughing even, but
yeah,
it is a really funny movie, so you probably will be,
or at least chuckling. But yeah, that's it.
That's it. So
I think this is gonna be like one. I think this is one of like the top 5 favorite movies for me
ever.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to watch a ton more movies so that way eventually I think one of our podcasts could eventually be our top movies or something. But I definitely had a lot more movies that I needed to get around to seeing before I ever saw them.
I'm not 100% sure of what that list would even look like.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I've seen so many movies and I've ranked so many so high at this point, it's weird to think like that could be my top 10. Like,
but I do have a lot of movies for you though to recommend.
Good, and I have a lot of, or I'm going to have a lot of movies. I at least have 2 right now. No, 2 or 3. So that's why I don't know. I don't know how much.
I think I just got another 2 movies just from talking about Blues Brothers.
I don't think
and how you reacted to this and how you enjoyed it. Because I think I got more where that came from.
I don't think we'll need to slow down on Rex, but if we do, we should discuss it off camera and then plan it. Or,
off mic.
We should discuss it over our message or something.
Yeah, which we still probably won't be running out anytime soon.
But yeah, if we ever do like TV shows, then we'll have a podcast where we discuss something else, and we'll take 2 weeks to do that or something.
Okay, yeah, there you go. There's a solution for that.
Yeah, I think that's
reasonable.
That's the best way to do that, I think. And we know we both have TV shows we want to rec at some point.
Yeah, but I think I've got plenty of stuff for right now.
Great.
And I'm excited to get to those movies, but I'm going to give you a little more variety first.
I'm excited to rec what I'm going to rec you today. Just because.
So let's jump into that.
Let's do that. At the very least, we're going to have an interesting conversation next week. And I have no idea the nature of the conversation around what I'm going to rec, but it's going to be something to discuss for sure.
Same for my recommendation. It's going to be an interesting one.
Okay. I wonder if I have an idea of what you might rec, but
I don't think you do, but let's go.
Let's do it. We're going to talk about yours first, so you rec first.
Oh, me recommend first. Okay. Well, this is a curveball for you.
It is.
But it's kind of not, but it will be. We did movies, and you recommended me music, so it's my turn, I think, to give an album.
Okay, it's an album. So.
And considering I only listen to the same 6 bands over and over again, I'm going to be double dipping. But you double dipped on Elliott Smith, so I'm not too worried about that.
Beatles.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, then it's the only other one. It's the only other one that it could be. What am I listening to? The only other one?
Huh?
What am I listening to?
Well, it's also a new album for me.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that it's Pink Floyd, but I guess not.
Nope. Yeah. No, not Pink Floyd. I'm recommending you "Chocolate and Cheese" by Ween.
Okay, another Ween. So we're double dipping. That's what you meant by that.
That's what I meant. I'm double dipping on bands that I've already recommended.
Chocolate. Okay, so we're gonna have a fucking weird ass podcast next week. Because what
I'm just gonna say, like, I told you before at first I wasn't big on this album because it was too weird, but I actually took a listen to it and I need to share this.
Sounds good. I'm excited to listen to it because I really did enjoy the Mollusk. I haven't.
I would say the Mollusk would be the best album to introduce you to.
To Ween.
Yeah. Here we're kind of cranking up the crazy a little bit.
Sounds good. I look forward to what I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to listen to it. I'll get it out of the way pretty quickly because I'm doing Postmates. I'm going to be doing that tonight even, so I'll get my first listen in today.
Cool.
And
I feel like it's going to be hard for you not to message me right after you're done with it.
No. So same with what I'm going to recommend.
Okay.
We're going to have a great conversation next week. Two of the weirdest recommendations ever. So I don't know if you've heard of this little movie. It's called Eraserhead.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. It's by David Lynch, who is the director that I've been speaking of.
Okay. I definitely know that name.
It's I don't know if you've seen anything by David Lynch. He also did Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks, which is what I want to rec you as the TV show eventually. But assuming that you've never seen anything from David Lynch, I think this movie is gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
No, I have not seen anything from him, but I do recognize the name. But looking at Eraserhead just really quickly, I think this is one of the things I wanted to watch. So
he's known.
This is going to be interesting for us.
He's known for. Well, I really don't want to say much, but he's known for his surrealist and dreamlike experiences of horror.
Oh boy! Now this is gonna be a treat then.
Yeah. Okay, and I think you can hear my computer. I had one piece of advice you needed on this. This is going to be David Lynch speaking.
Now, if you're playing the movie on a telephone, you will never in a trillion years experience the film. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
So don't watch it on your phone.
Okay, that's fair. Well, that's not my go-to movie experience anyway, but
no, I just think it's hilarious. This has become a meme that he said this because it's pretty funny. It's like this video that I just played the audio from is set up like a commercial for iPhone. Right after he says that, it like fades out and it's like iPhone. So yeah, that's the only thing I wanted to say. And I don't want to spoil anything. Not that it's kind of hard to spoil this movie, but I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Because if you follow me on Letterboxd after this, you'll see my rating for it. Unless you don't look out for it or anything. But I'm telling you, it's gonna change because I'm gonna rewatch it now that I'm familiar with David Lynch.
Yeah, you know what? This is gonna be one. It's really interesting how this lined up here because we both got real weird and freaky shit.
Weird music and
I'm excited.
Yeah. Weird music and weird movie. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope take notes or make sure you have a lot to say because I'm going to be asking what you thought of it. I'm going to be asking.
Remember to take notes this time.
Asking how you interpreted this movie. All right. Then
for sure.
We will talk about Chocolate and Cheese and Eraserhead next week.
Alrighty.
And I guess we'll blow out this candle, which you have to do again because I know you can't hear it because it's not up yet on the channel, but it sounded fucking hilarious when you blew out the candle.
Okay. I think I know what I did, but I'll do it again.
It's just because like the audio got all cut out and it was like okay, so let's do it.
All right,
you ready? Count me in.
Yeah. Oh wait, I thought I was gonna blow it out.
No, yeah, you're gonna blow it out, but I have to blow out my real candle.
Oh, okay. So then, 3, 2, 1.